In this video, I'm going to talk about why your event promotion might be making your events seem more shallow than they actually are. Hey friends, thanks so much for joining me this week. My name is Matt Curtis, and I want to help you as a church communicator grow in your effectiveness. Part of that is using language better. One of the things that I've seen over the years is churches promoting events in the shallowest way possible. It's not intentional. It's not an overt decision. We just sort of drift there. I went through this for many years where the primary messaging was, you should come to this event. It's going to be great. It's going to be super fun. Like, we're going to have food and stuff. It's just not compelling. One of the things that I've learned in serving in the trenches of church communications is that my job really isn't just to promote an event. It's not just to let the congregation know that an event is coming. And your job isn't either. Your job is actually to hook the events that the church is doing to the mission of the church. The mission that likely your church is pushing the congregation toward. We don't want the congregation to just show up on a weekend and then forget everything that they've heard. They're supposed to be moving in a direction in life. They're supposed to be living some degree of a missional life. Now, your denomination, your background, the type of church you are, that's going to impact the specifics. Some churches are going to say it's evangelism all day long. Some churches are going to say it's studying the Word of God all day long. Whatever it is that your mission is as a church, that's what you believe, that's the conviction that you hold, and that's what you should be pushing people toward. So your job then, as the church communicator, as the creative leader in your church, it's to help the congregation understand why this event is happening. So I'm going to give you two examples. I wrote these things up. They're using VBS as an example. So I understand we're not in VBS season if you're watching this as the video comes out, but we're going to be soon. So pull up the video then. So there's two ways that you can talk about VBS. You can talk about it in an ask-centric, or you can talk about it in a mission-centric way. Okay, so here's the example. This is the difference. We're so excited for VBS this year. It's going to be a wild time with fun games and delicious treats. Sign your kids up this year and get them out of the house for a couple days. Ha ha ha. This is the kind of thing that you'd see, you'd hear from the stage for announcements. It's $25 per kid. You can see Betty at the back table for more information or to sign up. It's going to be so fun. Now, you've probably heard a promotion like this. You may have given one for Christmas. It's going to be amazing. Bring everybody you know. All we're doing here is a shallow ask for people to just show up. That's the extent of why people should participate. It's going to be fun. Or in the case of this VBS, it's going to get the kids out of the house. Well, it's not really missional. Fun isn't missional, and getting the kids out of the house isn't missional. So there's some work that we can do to improve this language. And these are small things. So as you're growing as a church communicator, you may feel like there's big problems on your horizon. I don't know how to use this software, or I don't know how to get all these things done in time. I totally get it. But there's never going to be a time where it slows down. At least that's what I found. And so what I'm going to encourage you to do is to take the opportunities that are presented to you during this busy season of Christmas and begin integrating some of these ideas. So here's a different way you can present VBS. We are excited for VBS this year. We know that inviting people to church can be tricky. So we wanted to call attention to this year's VBS as a great opportunity to invite someone to church. Already we can see that there is a purpose behind this, and there's a way that I can be leveraging this as an individual in the congregation toward the mission that the church is calling me toward. If you have kids, then chances are you know other parents with kids. VBS gives your kids a really fun event, it's still okay to have fun, to invite their friends to, where they will hear about the love that Jesus has for them. It's $25 per kid. You can see Betty at the back table for more information to sign up. Okay, so we now have a totally different perspective on the exact same event, right? What we're doing now is we're saying this is the mission. That's a mission-centric in an evangelistic type of environment. But let's say you're in a church that maybe is more discipleship heavy. Yes, evangelism is important, but you're going to be pushing the discipleship angle because you're talking to the congregation. So here's another way to promote VBS that would be more in line with that, the discipleship-centric type of way. We are so excited for VBS this year. I know that the world today is so much different than the one I grew up in. Sometimes I don't know how to encourage my kids in their faith because the problems they face are so different. That's where our kids team comes in. This year's VBS is focused on helping our kids learn how to have integrity in the midst of the challenges of life. We have a really engaging skit designed to show them the tension of having your beliefs challenged and the significance of making God-honoring decisions. It's $25 per kid. You can see Betty at the back table for more information to sign up. It's going to be so fun. Still okay to have fun. What we're doing here is we look at these different methods of communicating. We're actually pausing before we just sort of promote and get these things off of our desk or out of our care as the communications leader. We're instead saying, okay, VBS is coming. What do we care about as a church? What is the mission of our church? What are we trying to encourage our church family to do every single time that we talk to them, every time they interact with us? Every time we create an event, what's the point? What's the purpose? What's our goal? What's our objective? Once we have our bearings and we remember those things, now it becomes our job as communications, as creative, wherever you fit in that landscape, it's our job now to take the message of the mission and connect it to the day-to-day decisions that we're doing in terms of the events, the programs, the things we're inviting people to. Christmas, why should I come to Christmas? Why should I invite people to Christmas? How does Christmas help me grow as a disciple of Christ? These are the questions that we get the opportunity to answer, but only when we pause and only when we're intentional about leaning into the opportunity to communicate our events in a way that connect to the mission.